Okay.
Hi there, I'm Lou.
Hi, I'm John.
And the subject that we're discussing in this video is my partner is a problem drinker. Shall I leave them?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think when I flick through magazines and I look at websites and these agony columns where this question is asked, my husband's, I think my husband's an alcoholic. What should I do? And as often as not, unfortunately, what it says is run, leave, get out. And I think I say unfortunately because I feel that kind of blanket answer is it kind of belies where the person might be.
First of all, we do have to say, just in terms of safety, if you are in physical, you or your family are in physical danger, if you're being regularly punched or sexually being abused in any way, or you're
your children,
are in real danger, then absolutely run as quick as you possibly can. But we're talking here more about emotional and psychological damage, which is much harder to gauge. Now, I've walked this for 29 years, and I had kind of crisis moments when I felt absolutely dreadful. And if I had a pound or a dollar for every time I said, I can't do this anymore, I'd probably be a millionaire. But actually, I was there for 29 years, and I found ways of actually sticking within that situation for a set of reasons that were particular to my situation.
And my wife actually did leave.
Yeah.
She left, and I can't blame her in any way, shape or form, but she did actually leave. But she tried her best before she did. She went.
So we've represented immediately there the different kind of things, but one thing we would say, one of the reasons we put the website together is we recognise that there are many people who really do love their alcoholic and want to stick with them if they possibly can. For me, it was often about the children. My children were really worried that I'd leave their dad because they really loved their dad, and there was enough going on in our situation, particularly when I learnt to handle it well, that was worth staying for.
I think that's one of the things that maybe surprises some people, that somebody could still live the alcoholic. But what we have to understand is that this is somebody you chose to live with, somebody you chose to spend your life with, and yes, they have a problem at this moment in time, but there is a great hope that this person may recover. And what I have to say is that many do. Many do recover. Maybe not immediately, maybe it is short term, medium term, or even long term, and we can't tell exactly who or when, but what we can say is that many do recover. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm over 25 years sober, so it does happen.
So we have to say that at Bottled Up we would really respect your journey, and if you've got to the point in your journey where you need permission to go because you're at the end of yourself in every way, then we would utterly permit you to go. If you need to go to hold yourself together and you just feel that you can't give it anymore, then of course go. And you're the only one that knows. The only thing I would say is try not to do it in a knee-jerk way. One of the things I work a lot with couples, I'm a counsellor, and when people come to me in a real crisis, one of the things I say to them, look, even if you feel this relationship eventually cannot be kind of redeemed, that we can't actually help you through, let's really look at it. Let's really do our very best so that when you look back, and often there is regret with people that get divorced, when you look back you can really honestly say to yourself and to each other, we did everything we could think of to make this relationship work. And at Bottled Up we've really thought very, very hard, using his experience as a drinker and mine as living with a drinker, of making sure that A, you're not doing things that are really unhelpful, and B, that you are doing things that are helpful, so that again you can really do the best you can, and then we give you an intervention or various interventions for your drinker. And the benefit of that, if you can hang on in there, and only if you can hang on in there, is that you can, if you leave him, say, I've really applied this, I've done everything I can, and it's kind of the end of the road for me.
Yeah.
And you may feel that you may be glad that you did that.
Mm-hmm. But you also have to make a life for yourself as well.
Yeah.
You know, you have to actually start and look at, you know, where you're at, you know, because one of the things that may happen with a drinker is that your social life gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and as you become, you know, more secretive and, you know, and hiding from the shame, etc. And you know, and you need to reverse that process. You need to get support. You need to get people out there. You know, you need to have some kind of social life, because if you're going to leave, you need to leave to something. You know, and so we talk about all of these things within the website as well. Our program is talking about living with a problem drinker, or living with an alcoholic, but we recognise that we can't always, you know, that can't always be the case. You know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You need to make these decisions. Nobody can tell you whether you have to stay or you have to go. I mean, my wife, when she left, I mean, she made the sort of pronouncement, you know, that she didn't like me, she didn't love me, and she left before she hated me. What I have to say is that, you know, years later, that we were friends, you know, and you know, that we never ever got back together again, but that was okay. You know, that was okay. She was in a good place, I was in a good place, and it was fine. You know, so these kind of things happen. All the different stories of humanity, get back together again, stay together, you know, they're all in there. And to be honest, at the end of the day, it's your decision. It's your decision. You have to make it. But you have to make it from a good place. And what we try to do within Bottled Up is try to move you into that good place, where you can actually make a decision that's based on rationality, and rather than, you know, as Lou said, a knee-jerk reaction.
Sure.
You know.
And also, just before we finish, I have to say that certainly the chances are that you're feeling that your situation is really, really difficult, and we're not asking you to stay in that. The whole thing about the Bottled Up program is to bring you to a point where it is less difficult. And I certainly couldn't have stayed with my husband if it had remained how it was at the beginning, and if I had remained in all the kind of the emotional kind of incandescent with rage person that I was for a long, long time. I couldn't have stood that for 29 years. The reason I stayed till the end is I found ways of managing my life and reducing the impact of his drinking, and tended to be around in the good bits, and find ways of taking myself away in the bad bits. So we're certainly not saying hang on in there now. We're saying just look at your situation.
In fact, you know, if you looked in the forum of Bottled Up, what you'll find is members who are together with their drinker, members who have left their drinker, members who have left them in a short-term basis, members who are getting divorced. They're all in there, you know, and we support them all.
Yeah. So come and join us.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. And that's true.
What? It is true. Yeah.
All shades. Oh, right. In there.